On this episode, Steve Miller battles Jeff Klein. They'll compete against each other, Lady Luck, and me, your host and Pirate Panda, on Freeman's Table. And hello to all you fine folks listening. I bathe in the warm glow of your sunshine. Visit freemanstable.com to view or print the board game. Now let's meet today's contestants. Back on the show is comedian Steve Miller, whom I know has much better things to do, but is gracious enough to let us ingratiate him once again. Steve has appeared in his opponent's Outside a Comedy Club series and his Wigs and Wit show. He's also done many other things that had nothing to do with Jeff Klein. What up, Miller?
To be fair, I have done very many things that don't have anything to do with Jeff Klein, and I always find them preferable to the things that do have to do with Jeff Klein. Thank you very much for having me back, Matt. And also thank you for having this be arranged against Jeffrey, whose air of superiority and somehow comically skewed sense of self-worth has driven a massive schism between both him and myself. So I look forward to dispatching him with the class and wit of a true gentleman.
Okay. Comedian Jeff Klein previously lost to Clark Brooks in episode 19, and he's already been talking smack about Miller as Miller's doing about him. So I believe we have a spicy meet the ball ahead of us. As I mentioned, he's the creator of Outside a Comedy Club and the very popular Wigs and Wit show, where comedians compete against drag queens. I hope there's a pool of jello involved. We also previously learned Mr. Klein lives on a farm, but we haven't heard enough about that. So, what up, Jeff?
What is happening? Now, I apologize. You say my opponent's name is Stephen Liller? What's the last name?
Let me scroll back up and check. Steve Miller.
Very nice to meet you, Mr. Miller. I look forward to a cordial game with you. I am excited to maybe meet you in person someday. And I'm kidding. I know you. I'm happy to be a part of something else to carry you forward.
Can I ask you a question, Jeffrey?
I have to go to a chiropractor because I carry you around in this community and not with my shows. Yes, sir. Go ahead. You were saying something.
So first of all, I'm curious, do you know who Brian Solin is?
Who?
Brian Solin, the comedian?
I do not.
Who doesn't know who Brian Solin is?
Because I assumed that you weren't familiar with me at the beginning because I won my last game, unlike you. So I thought maybe you knew Brian Solin, who was also a loser at this game.
No, we have not been at the same loser meetings. I believe he goes to the Tuesdays and I go to the Wednesdays.
And they're not called loser meetings. They're called meetings of people who haven't yet won.
Okay, well, that's not what we call them there. That's not what we're working on right now.
Jeff, you're hearing everyone call me a loser.
But I'm excited about this.
I love Jeff Klein's acting ability. I'm excited about this.
He read it right off the page perfectly.
I think Steve Miller is as funny as his haircut is good and mustache is relevant. And I look forward to seeing the amazing wit and smarts he brings towards this game.
So do all the people that go to your shows.
I feel good about this.
And before we dive into the games, quick thanks to our sponsor, Niati Flan, makers of the finest handcrafted dessert using the best ingredients available. Look for it in restaurants, grocery stores, and hotels, or order online at niati.com and have it shipped right to your door. Click the link in this episode's notes and at freemanstable.com. Gentlemen, you do know you're each going to get a shipment of flan delivered to your door.
Yes, and I couldn't be more excited about that. And for the record, when I was at Side Splitters the other night, Chris Cope was there eating that flan, and he could not stop talking to me about how good it was. So I'm excited. I've had it many times myself. I'm excited to have it in the comfort of my own home.
Heck yeah.
I have a quick question before we get forward.
Mm-hmm.
I have my game board printed up in front of me. Do I need to add the names that he keeps dropping as obstacles on this board, or are those not a part of the game?
They're not obstacles. They're things that move him forward.
Okay, they feel like just more
Yeah.
hurdles I have to get past in a conversation with them, but sure.
They're
Okay.
hurdles for you. They're springboards for him.
Yes.
So, Jeff, when you become a comedian, you'll meet other comedians.
I made you, I will destroy you.
Everyone's up to date on how the games are played. Kind of doesn't matter. Just checking.
Poorly.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful. All right. Well, let's begin by deciding who gets their challenge first with a roll of 2 dice. Highest total wins, but neighbors beat highs and doubles beat neighbors. Jeff will roll for you first. You got a 2 and a 1, which are neighbors.
All right. That feels like not a high number.
The low end of neighbors. He got double 3. So he beat you 2 ways, maybe 3. He beat you all 3 ways.
Okay, well, that feels rude to point out. You could have just said he won. That feels excessive, but sure.
Hold on, there's more ways.
I think it's right. I think he's just really just laying out the rules of the game and letting people know what's going on. I don't think you should give him a hard time about that, Jeff. I mean, what do you want him to do? Are you going to file a lawsuit and look for missing ballots in Georgia and Pennsylvania? What's happening here?
Thank you for defending me, Miller.
Always, as long as you keep rolling double 3s.
Roll double 3s all day. You know, you can go higher on a dice. It's not a 3-sided dice, Miller.
First card that I pulled for you is Any Word'll Do. 8 letters, 4 vowels. You're going to get 8 letters and 4 vowels. They are H, I, N as in Nancy, D as in David, A, D as in David, O, A. HINDA DOA, and your timer begins now.
10, 9, 8, 7.
And the games are up and running.
5,
We have begun. We got through the gauntlet of the venom between the two of you. Jeesh. What you got there, Steve? Oh, who just hung up?
I'm still here.
Beautiful. Is Jeff still with us?
Oh, Jeffrey.
I lost him. There he is. Welcome back to the show, Jeff.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I panicked.
Was that me or you?
I don't know. It's hard to say. There was a dog in here. Let's blame that. It's hard to say what happened. Did Steve cheat already? I was gone for 5 seconds.
He's already moved 9 spaces ahead while you were gone.
That feels like cheating.
It looks a lot like it.
What was the word?
Let's see what he's got.
The word is Hanoda.
Hanoda.
No, the word is that is the Hanoda is a piece of English monarch jewelry. Not quite the scepter. It's smaller than a scepter. It's a Hanoda.
How do you spell that?
HINODA.
No good.
I don't believe that's true at all. I believe Hanoda is a guest on a very popular morning show, and he's not allowed to use proper nouns.
So he did not get that word. He did not move forward.
He failed.
Okay. I don't know if I like the emphatic he failed. I'm just saying what happened. I'm just plainly putting what happened is you failed.
Can we pour a little more salt in that wound? Oh, what's that whistle? Who just did a whistle?
I don't know.
Sure,
I didn't hear anything.
Is that your rice?
It's his rice.
It's his rice. Okay.
No, I'm not even near my rice right now. I'm sitting at my desk wondering why Hanoda isn't a word.
Well, because it's never been said, used, or thought of before right now.
You could have done a made-up
That
word.
could be it. Obviously, it's made up, Matt. You looked it up. It doesn't exist.
Oh, so give me that definition again, and we'll see.
No, it's not going to work this time either.
I mean,
No.
Well, that was if I'm looking it up as a real one and it doesn't come up as real, then you don't get the credit for it as real. But if you come in with it as menagulated, is it supposed to be menagulated?
well, first of all, I don't like that word at all.
That one's sticking and
secondly,
staying forever.
It was my attempt at a made-up word. I clearly failed at it miserably. So what I would like to do personally is just move on.
Oh, that blows. I wanted to hear the definition of your made-up word again.
Well, the Hanoda screw was a very specific type of screw that was used to put together royal thrones.
That's
It's
not
good,
what you said.
Matt. It's not good. No, it's not what I said. I
That's-
changed
that's
it, and it's
different than
not
what
even
you-
better.
That's why he
You
wanted to
said-
move on. My apologies. You were right to wish that we would move on, so we will. The next card being pulled. Thank you for helping us make the show a higher quality experience.
I forget, and I don't want to tell you how to do your thing here. Do I get a shot to move forward off making my own word off of that because he failed so miserably?
No.
That's no longer okay.
miserably.
So we're just going to. He ruins it with a bad word of a smaller scepter. I believe he said, and then we move on. All right, cool. I'm just making sure.
We could also move you one
Yeah, thanks for
space
the
back
recap.
from the starting line, Jeff, for diving a little too deep into that.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
think general assholery is a good reason to move it back.
The second card being pulled is, of course, for Jeff, and it's a trivia question.
I love these.
Humans have 24 what?
Metacarpals. That's not right.
I was going to say, what are metacarpals?
Metacarpals are the small bones inside your hand.
Oh, I like the words, and the bones can be
But I think there's
fragile
way more than 24. So
when you punch a dumpster. Your first hint for the opportunity to move two spaces is when you give someone a hard time.
is it teeth?
No.
I didn't have a reference for that. I just went teeth.
Okay. So your second hint for one space moved.
Yep.
Humans have 24 what is the question. A
Mhm.
really old novel purports ladies come from one.
Ribs.
Ding, ding, ding. The third hint was, I want my baby back, baby back.
And that would have also helped.
Yeah. That's why it was at the end, because it's just, there's no way you can't get it with that one. So you moved one space, you're out of the starting gate,
Commanding lead, I believe, is the word you want to say.
pulling away. And we've pulled another card for Steve. It is a roll of the dice. Oh, the number you're going for, apologies, is 531, and you rolled 433.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could either move one space or one space.
So I can move one space or one space.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to move the one space.
Beautiful. So that ties you guys up. You're on top of each other.
It's always how my fan fiction ends with us.
I'm just glad that you're finally publicly admitting that you write fan fiction about it.
What is fan fiction is the next trivia question. The next card pulled for Jeff is any word will do, 6 letters, 1 vowel.
All right.
Any word will do, 6 letters, 1 vowel, and they are P is in Patrick, S is in Sam, U, T is in Thomas, T is in Thomas, R. And that, of course, is. Did we lose someone again? He hung up again.
I'm here.
He hung up again.
You know, it's interesting that once he gets those letters, he hung up. Isn't that interesting?
Hello.
All right. I don't know if it was me or not. I was on headphones and I took the headphones out to make sure that that's not the problem anymore. But I have a word. I had a word. I'm ready. But then I hung up, or I got hung up on.
Oh, watch me hit this.
10,
You don't need the timer.
No, I'm good.
All right. You had PSUTTR, right?
Yes.
All right. And what is your word?
It is 5 letters, and it is going to be trust. TRUST. That is an actual word, and the definition is something I don't have in Steve Miller. Trust.
Ah,
You can trust that that word will move you forward 3 spaces.
Yeah, it does.
I would like to point out, before we move along too much, Matt, but that was a very good word played by Matt. Played by Jeff. I respect the fact that instead of being creative, he simply spelled the word. Now, well, I will admit, I failed miserably on my improv. It fell short, and I'm ashamed of it. But I took the swing. But I'm proud of Matt for being able to spell trust. I'm proud of, Jeff. That's very good. Proud of you, Jeff.
Okay. Well, it's no Hanoda, and I do hope that some years into our friendship, you will learn my name.
Well, no promises.
It's okay that he confuses us. I'm all right with it.
One of you is very good looking.
And the next card pulled is a trivia card. So the next question is for Steve Miller. What cocktail became popular during Prohibition in the United States due to the relative ease of illegal gin manufacturing?
Oh. Do I get hints or no? Am I just guessing?
Your first one for 3 spaces moved is without a hint. If you don't have any idea, I can go ahead and give you your first hint.
Yeah, give me one hint. I know a lot of gin cocktails.
You,
but
you
I
don't
know.
you don't lose the turn by guessing wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to say martini.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll move you. Let's see. That was a trivia card with a +1 space, so it moves you the total of 3 plus the 1. That's 4 spaces.
I don't like that.
He does not like that. Let the record show that Jeff does not like being pulled ahead of by 1 spot. The first hint was it's called a Gibson when served with a cocktail onion. The second is it's served in its own glass, martini glass. And the third is it is made worse by shaking it rather than stirring it. Yeah, because for some reason the James Bond movies have him asking for it shaken, not stirred, which would dilute it. But the James Bond in the novels always asked for it stirred, not shaken.
It was also created by a bartender that was on the ferry from San Francisco to Martine. And there was a trial over who actually owned the birthright of that. And San Francisco lost because they had just left from Martine toward San Francisco. So since the last port of call was Martine, that's why it's a martini.
That's one of many.
No, it's the only truth. Okay,
Look here,
it's
buddy.
the only truth out there.
From what I saw,
Are you?
there was a lot of different origin stories.
No, it's like Batman. There's one that replays a million times, and this is it. The Martini's father and mother were shot on that ferry, and it went on to become the Batman of drinks.
And their child saw that and became
Yeah.
an alcoholic.
Yes, this all tracks.
The scholar H.L. Mencken called the martini the only American invention as perfect as the sonnet, and E.B. White, author of Charlotte's Web, called it the elixir of quietude. The next card pulled.
I like this. I like that I'm learning things, Matthew.
Yeah, I learn them as I do the research. Well, no, I write them down as I do the research, and then I forget entirely. Roll of the dice is the next one. And that is for Jeff. The number you're going for is 556. And you're getting a 546.
That's like within 10 points, right?
Yeah, so you can either move 3 spaces or 2. No, actually, you don't get that dice roll.
Well, that feels rude.
Yeah, you're at the beginning of the bridge. You're supposed to have a bridge card.
Yeah, I am at the beginning of the bridge. I mean, I don't love how things just keep getting ripped away from me here, but that's fine.
Well, let's see.
We'll do a bridge card.
Let's see what it says. Oh, you crossed the bridge, which is what you want, but you tried to ride a kangaroo on the other side and fell off 1 space back. You're in a lot of pain, but at least you're 4 spaces forward.
Still puts me ahead, and I think we all know I would totally try to ride that kangaroo.
Mm-hmm. It fits. It tracks.
Yes.
So the roll of the dice was for Steve.
I don't like that.
Steve, your number is 652. And you hit 514 is the number that you hit.
I feel pretty good about that.
Yep, that moves you right on top of him.
Does that move him 1 space behind me? No, I'm not trying to correct your math.
If he's there, 1, 2, 3. No, 3 spaces.
It's 3 spaces? Okay. I thought it was just 2 spaces, but that's fine. It says within 200. Oh, it's within 200. 100.
Oh, no, it's 2.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
good.
not within 100 points is what I'm saying.
I typed it on the wrong line. My apologies.
It's math, but that's fine.
What, did you do it in your head? I don't. Let's see, the fingers. 1 minus. Oh, no, I got to use knuckles. Okay, moving along.
Use your metacarpals.
What are those? The next card pulled is Any Word'll Do, 7 and 2. 7 letters with 2 vowels for Jeff Klein. CSWTI, V is in Victor, O. Charlie, Sam, W, Thomas, I, Victor, O. Your timer begins now.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Let's see if he stays on the line, Miller.
5, 4,
It'd be nice to change your pace.
1.
Boom.
Okay. Yep. Sure. Got it. Obviously.
What it is.
So I have it's just going to be 4 letters. I'm sorry, it's not more. It's what I came in to match Steve with, and believe I will be at my end of by the end of this game, and it is wits. WITS.
WITS. That word works, and with 4 letters, you move 2 spaces. Now, Steve Miller, the next card for you is any word will do, 8 letters, 1 vowel.
Oh, good.
8 letters.
So all you need is 1 vowel.
That's what you've got to work with. G, F as in Frank, O is your vowel, N is in Nancy, C is in Charlie, J is in Jam, M is in Matt, K, George, Frank, O, Nancy, Charlie, James, Matt, K. Your timer begins now.
10, 9, 8,
What do you reckon he comes up with?
6,
I would guarantee he comes up with his own made-up word. You can't see the actual 5-letter word in there.
I see a 4. I see a couple 4s. What do you got there, Steve?
I got 4,
Okay. What is it?
and Fong. Fong.
Fong.
What is that?
He's, huh?
Fong.
That-
Fong. The Fong is a Chinese, like not the Yakuza, but it's a Chinese mafia. The Fong of the Fong family, like in Big Trouble in Little China. Now you guys are going to say you didn't watch Big Trouble in Little China?
I don't want to say blatantly racist, but this feels uncomfortable for me.
in the racist realm, I thought he was going to say it was Asian for thong.
Yeah, I feel like either
No,
way,
no,
he's
no, no.
appropriating a culture, and I'm not comfortable with it.
I believe the Fong has something to do with Chinese culture, legitimately.
You didn't see any other words there?
That's what you went with, huh?
You didn't see monk? You didn't see, other words? What did you have as the 5er, Jeff?
Well, look,
Actually, to be honest, I saw monk, and I just added another letter to try to make him confused, like he wasn't seeing something that wasn't there.
So, once again, we find Miller not wanting to move forward with the word game.
I don't understand this, gentlemen. Are you telling me that Fong isn't a word? That there's no Fong?
There might be in some Asian language, but it doesn't work.
Okay. Fong is an actual word from Old English, which means to kick. Is Fong a Chinese name?
You know that game that sounds like Babel? That's very much like what we're playing. I've picked a
Right.
site where I check to see if the word's going to be allowed, if it's not a menagulated word, in which you could really go anywhere you want, but you haven't done that yet.
I'm looking like
Huh?
the Fong is a reference to the Zulu tribe of the people of Cameroon.
Okay, so the definition is
It's also
it's a scepter, but like a smaller scepter, and the screws that hold it together.
no. First of all, fuck you both. Secondly, type the word Fong into Google, you pricks, and see that it exists, and it is very weird. Can I direct you, please, to the only website that I go to when I'm searching for a word?
Kick.
Whether or not it's valid.
I'll Fong
Yes,
you. He is actually saying, I'll
Yes.
kick you. Right.
Sure. If we want Bill Gates running our lives, just keep running there.
Now let me
That's
ask
fine.
you. Yeah, and
5G, Steve Miller, 5G.
And did you know when you said the word Fong, did you intend it to mean to kick?
Absolutely not.
Was there a reference to Big Trouble in Little China and an Asian
Absolutely, there was. There absolutely was. But I stand by that.
I'm going to go
I don't
ahead.
think you get to stumble into correctness.
I think I'm going to leave Steve right where he is
This feels correct.
so that he learns.
I think I feel like this is. I feel like I've been wronged here for the record.
I feel
Have you been
like you are
phoned?
playing your own game instead of play. This game is called Any Word Will Do. Any
Yes,
word.
except for the words that I choose. Song is a word. Just because I didn't know the definition of it when I said it doesn't make it any less a word.
But precedent
I
says
feel
that
like
you
a real
don't need.
Schrodinger's cat
No,
situation.
it doesn't need to have. It doesn't need to. You don't need to know the definition. That's that. You don't need to know it. I was just wondering if you knew it as a real word, or if you were saying it as that
Well,
Asian word
I
that you
had a
said.
good feeling. I had a good feeling. I thought maybe
Oh, hold up. We're getting a feedback
I did
slash.
hear myself come back a little bit. Yeah.
You had either.
Is it because you're complaining so much that it's now hit a wall and coming
and it's
back to you at this
it's
point?
bouncing back.
I don't think that's the reason, Jeff. And if you think that's the reason, that's just poor sportsmanship. And frankly, I'm disappointed in you.
If you need us to take a break while you do some dishes, is that what you're doing?
No, I'm sitting here angrily disappointed in both of you for not recognizing Asian culture. I feel like you've
First
done
of
a
all,
slight.
it's old English culture, you were
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
And are you shaking your fist to the air right
I
now?
wish we could see it.
I think that's what old men
Yes.
do.
Moving along. The next card pulled for Jeff is a roll of the dice.
Yeah, Jeff's moving forward. Hi, Steve.
And your number is going to be 222 that you're rolling for.
Yeah, I am.
That is 351 is what you got.
All right. Well, that's not as close as I'd like it to be.
Nope. That gives you 2 spaces or 1 space, whichever you choose.
The 2 spaces feels right.
All right. And the next, and then we have another roll of the dice now pulled for Steve.
Steve, I don't think you can mess this one up, so just let it happen.
The number you're trying to hit is 416, 416.
Okay. You feel good about that?
And you hit 661. 661.
Not as good.
Not as good. So you can move 1 space or 2 spaces.
I would like to move 2 spaces.
2 spaces it is. Because you got a 1 and a 6 to match. You were 245 away in your total. The next card is a trivia question that is a +1 space. So, Jeff, your score +1 space is what you'll be moving off of this trivia question. And it is, what religious beliefs originally practiced by sub-Saharan Africans are rooted in the worship of spirits and ancestors here in the United States?
All right. So I feel like any answer I give as a white man is going to make me sound horrible. So
You already sound offensive.
yes. So it is, repeat the question, in ancestors.
What religious beliefs are rooted in the worship of spirits and ancestors?
I'm going to just go out on a limb and say voodoo.
Correct. It is voodoo.
That is 3 spaces plus 1.
+1. 1.
Steve
2,
Miller, how
3,
many is
4.
that altogether? That's 4. Thank you.
4. Your first hint
I
would
would
have
say it's
been
about song.
a central theme in the plot of the 1973 James Bond film Live and Let Die. The main Bond villain, Dr. Kananga, uses the fear of voodoo to scare locals away from his poppy fields so he wouldn't lose money from selling the seeds to bagel companies. To lose money from heroin sales. Read that wrong. The second one is its main holy language is Louisiana Creole. The third hint is it rhymes with a juvenile term for poop.
I would have gotten it around the second one. Steve, I'm so far away from you right now. I don't think you could actually phone me.
Steve, here's your chance to catch up. You just pulled a trivia that's +2 spaces, so it'll be your score +2 spaces.
This sounds made up, but go
Can
on.
I stop you? Can I stop you for a second? I realize that I'm far behind Jeff, but I'm a much stronger closer than you are, so I'm still confident.
Ooh, comedy joke.
Please continue.
Comedy
Thank you.
rib.
I apologize for Jeff's rudeness, to be honest with you.
See, Jeff, what he's doing there is ribbing you. What sea creature is very intelligent, has been observed using tools and dies after nookie?
Octopus.
That is immediately correct. Well done.
Why would you know that so quickly? How many octopi have you fucking killed? Is what I need to know right now.
Well, your first hint was going to be there are around 300 species of it, all of which have venom, but only the blue-ringed version is fatal to humans. It's found in the Pacific Ocean between Australia and Japan. There's no anti-venom for it, but if you can get on a ventilator to breathe for you for 15 hours, you'll survive with no side effects. The male's third right arm delivers sperm to the female. Humans use their third leg, and then they die.
Yes.
And these are all supposed to be helpful hints.
Yeah, no, these are not. These are more fun for me. Hint number 3 for Zero Space's move would have been it has 3 hearts and 9 brains.
Ooh.
But that's great. Right out the gate, you guessed correctly octopus, or you knew correctly octopus, and that puts you on the pond. So your next turn, we're going to pull a pond card probably well after you've started the game that I accidentally tell you to play. So we're pulling a card now for Jeff, and that's an any word will do. 8 and
Here we
3.
go.
That's 8 letters with 3 vowels, and they are Y, J, E, F as in Frank, A, V as in vapid, P as in Patrick, I. Y, J, E, F, A, V, P, I. Good to go?
Sure.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
I should have written them down. Why didn't I write them down?
3, 2, 1.
Why would you write them down? Just for fun?
Because I want to prove to Jeff that he's not smarter than me.
Yeah, you don't need to write them down.
It's not going well.
Mr. Klein,
Yes.
what you got?
I apologize for not being funnier or wittier with these, but also I like being factual and winning. So I'm going to give you the word vape, which is 4 letters. VAPE.
That may not work.
What I meant to say is Jeep.
It does work.
What did you hear?
Here we go.
Vape does work.
That's what I meant. That's what I said. Vape. Vape is a Somalian term to mean like a knife, but not a knife. Oh no, wait! It's a real word that you could actually look up. My apologies.
Right.
Yeah, it means to vape.
I wondered if it would work because I think it sounds like an abbreviation. But that moves you 2 spaces forward into the sand. So the next
I
time,
love being in the sand.
and I would like everyone to celebrate the fact that I am actually going to pull a pond card at the right time for Steve.
Well done.
Excited.
Thanks, everybody. And it says, "Oh, you sank to the bottom of the pond. Not good. But then you found a cave down there and followed it to the light. You're in shock and out of breath, but at least you moved 2 spaces forward."
Boom.
That was a roller coaster.
Moving forward.
A lot happened
was.
with that. Yeah, that was a real trap.
So
I was nervous at first. Feel good about it now, though.
you didn't have to
I
do much
was
work.
Trying not to make jokes about him sinking.
Well, let's see what happens to you in the sand now. Oh, you sat down and built a sandcastle right when they were having a competition. Turns out you won an award for worst sandcastle ever. At least they kicked you 3 spaces forward.
All of this tracks wonderfully.
You are now 4 spaces ahead of him.
And on the home stretch.
5 spaces ahead, and you are 4 spaces away from the winning circle in which you have to land directly.
Yes, with Klein Rule 2020. Yes, I remember it well.
Exactly. This is your doing. Any word will do. 6 and 3 for Steve. Any word will do. 6 and 3.
Steve, do you need the definition of what a word is before we do this one for you, or are you good?
Son of a bitch.
Steve, we're looking for you.
Yeah, it would be helpful.
We're looking for you to move forward on this one. All right. Your letters are L is in Larry, O, N is in Nancy, I, F is in Frank, A, LONIFA. Your timer begins now.
10,
Are you a betting man, Jeff?
7,
I know what he's going to do, which is fine, but I know that he's going to try to add an F in front of it,
1.
and make it funny or interesting. And
I hope
don't
so,
think
because
it's
I'll
going to
take
work.
it if he tells me that it's supposed to be funny or interesting and not real.
Well, he says a lot is supposed to be funny and interesting, and it rarely lives up. So don't keep your hopes up on that one. Mr. Miller, I believe we're going back to you.
Thank you.
Yes, we are going back to me. I have 5 letters, going with final. Final. Final.
5 letters.
Not with whatever hacky joke.
Good job.
Yes.
And he moves 3 spaces forward. He's 2 behind Jeff. And I mean, I'm going to go ahead and do it.
That was well done. Well played.
Thank you.
Well played for your final chance to catch up.
And the next card,
Nobody likes you, Jeff.
just straight to it. People don't like you. It's a roll of the dice.
Oh, man, I could win with just doing nothing.
A roll of the dice. And your number you're trying to hit is 151.
I will not win, but that's fine.
You could blow fire if you hit it directly. And you rolled a 235. 235 is your total for
got
moving
real close.
3 spaces.
Yep. That is
What
going
sort
to
of
make it hard to
fuckery
finish.
is this? There's neither rhyme nor reason to this game. I'm doing incredibly. I'm participating. I'm being engaging.
You're
I'm
making
paying
rice.
attention. Well, yes, I'm
He's
multitasking was on my list of things to mention, Matthew.
Sorry, I cut you off. My apologies.
No, just please. Let's continue. It feels haphazard at best. And
Yeah, it does.
at worst, it feels like targeted harassment.
You going to take that up with HR?
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah,
HR.
maybe I will.
Here's how we know when you're doing well, Steve. When I wrote the script that you're saying, that's when you're doing well. Obviously, when we let you go out on your own, we get Hinoda. We get Kerfunkel. I forget what the other one you said was.
Song, which is a word.
Sorry.
Just not one that worked.
All right, let's see if I can get one more space to win this and do my victory lap.
What you've got here is a what do you know card, a trivia for Steve, which he can keep or pass.
Oh, I'm keeping. Let me ask, if I pass it, could he potentially have to go backwards?
No.
No. You can if you keep it, but he can't. Somehow
Well,
there's
this sounds again. The target is unfairness. I must point this out. Okay, I will keep the card. I will answer it correctly, and I will really going to come on strongly here at the ending. And I hope, for the love of God, that Jeff Klein runs into some sort of speed bump.
Can I ask one technical question?
only if it's funny. So no.
Okay. If Steve
Nicely done that.
does not answer this trivia correctly, and I answer it correctly, because if wrong, opponent tries, it can move 1 space. So in theory, in this one moment right here on this one
This
card,
is the drama that we were setting up for.
Steve could not only fail, but his failure could lead to me winning.
That's true.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was the case. Stephen, continue.
All right, so the pressure's on. The French fashion term pret-a-porter means what?
Ready to wear.
Bam. 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3.
I'm trying so hard not to say the first things that just pop in my head.
Why are
because
you
I realize
doing that?
People will listen to this.
Oh,
this
that's
is,
why.
Okay.
No,
We'll
you
go
don't
back
have to
the
worry
instant-
about that.
Here's the instant replay. Go back to the instant replay, rewind.
The French fashion
ask your
term
question.
pret-a-porter means what? He's not going to play along.
Ready to wear.
Ready to wear.
Fag.
Oh,
Like it was my instinct to go to. It felt right in every way.
you know what?
Look,
The
I
listeners
wanna
were
make-
thinking it.
I would like to point out something. I have been on this episode, multicultural. I have been praising both the French and the Asian cultures.
Mhm.
And now I have been slurred by Jeff Klein
Mhm.
with a homophobic remark.
Mhm.
And also, the fine Asian listeners of this podcast have been told that they don't count, in addition to the Middle English people. So listen to this. I've also been told like that. So I think, yes, I deserve the 3 spaces, but I would argue that I maybe deserve a 4.
In your argument, did you throw in? Okay, never mind. I heard when you said Middle English, and I was like, "Are you throwing in Middle Earth? Are we upsetting hobbits now?" But then I replayed back what you said, and I thought, "Okay, well, he didn't take it to extremes." Everybody in Hobbiton is very upset about this.
Let's see. We've got a little bit of game left in which we can offend many more people.
We have Jeff to win. Let's do it.
Jeff,
And I hope it's dice in which I do nothing and still move forward, aka my comedy career. Let's do it.
you pulled an any word'll do
You
card,
move forward?
so that is not the case. And
3-letter word to win it. Got it.
so Steve is on the sand. So if you
He's sitting
can't-
on a bench,
Yes.
which is usual.
your any word'll do is 7 and 2.
What insult is that? Let me on a bench.
That's what people like yourself do in a park.
You're the type of person who would sit on a bench.
You're what we
Yes.
you're what we athletic people call a bench sitter.
It's getting ugly here, folks.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Getting
so
ugly.
you're ableist now as well. Interesting.
That's low, Jeff. That's really low. Apologies to the bench sitting community.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I stand by it.
7 and 2. Your letters are O, L, G, U, D as in dog, R, G. O, L, G, U, D, R, G.
10, 9, 8,
I'm going to pretend that you need this
I mean-
timer.
6, 5, 4, 3,
What is it?
It's log. It's log.
Oh,
it's something.
there we
It's
go.
something. It would.
Da-da-da,
It's log. It's
da-da-da-da-da,
log. Is that a copyrighted song?
Oh yeah. Let's rewind that.
Potato head.
That's the celebration.
Potato head.
Celebratory.
Potato head.
Well, I don't like it. I'm going to tell you that. I find the game to be riddled with flaws.
What would you change about the game for it to meet your standards?
Is it read
Well,
the
I think
rules?
that, quite honestly, I think that Jeffrey took the easy path. You know, I think that,
So it's not the
I
game,
think
it's
that he
his
just-
approach to it.
yes, but I believe that the game has an inherent flaw similar to American democracy. And let me lay it out for you. So American democracy
Where's the
relies
mute? There's a
on,
mute button. There it is.
yes, please, relies on citizen participation, which obviously is a problem because over time we've grown fat and complacent. It also relies on people acting in the best interest of the nation. And we're seeing now that's not always going to be the case for some people. So although our founding fathers thought one wouldn't need to install these rules or these laws to ensure that people wouldn't attempt to form a fascist dictatorship, they obviously were mistaken there. Similar to how you created this, is that I'm going to be speaking with creative, entertaining, funny people. I won't need to tell them to try to be creative and witty. I won't need to have to tell them to take some chances. Yet, as we learned from this game tonight, that Jeffrey is just merely bunting the ball and putting along, while, yes, I swung and missed mightily several times, but I swung the bat. So the risk takers, the creatives that come on this game, are at a natural disadvantage to those that seek safe harbor.
I can't wait to hear your dissertation as to why the San Antonio Spurs shouldn't have won the NBA championships 5 times, because they're solid, because they do it right, and they make it look easy. All right? I am the David Robinson and the Tim Duncan
Well put.
of your life right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
I'm
two
building
people
fundamentals,
right now. Is that
and
what-
you're throwing up bricks.
I tried to play him off like the Oscars
He doesn't
with the
listen.
music, but he just kept.
If there's
just
anybody
kept
that'll
going.
run a light, it's that guy.
Yeah, he just.
Yeah, well, I always have to follow up your time, and you left people wanting more, so I had to try to fill up space. But yeah,
I'm sorry.
I-
In your
this
insult,
comparison-
did you tell people? Did you say that I leave people wanting more? That's your insult.
yes,
That people
because
want
I'm
more
not
of
damn
me?
it.
cliched, Jeff. I'm not cliched. You hear that and you hear nothing but a simple cliche because you're not creative. You're not listening to the words. You leave people wanting more because nothing happened. Because they're like, my God, I've come to a show. I want more. I would like some comedy. I was expecting more. I've been underserved. Therefore, I would like some more because what I have received is not up to, there's Steve Miller. Now I'm having a good time.
I came for comedy. I got nachos.
There's Steve Miller. I hope Jeff wrote something nice for him to say.
He hasn't yet.
You guys ever perform at the same shows?
Never. I refuse Jeffrey Klein.
Only when I pay him to be my friend. No, we performed. We had to have outside of Wigs and Wit. I brought him on to Wigs and Wit multiple times.
Of course we have. We've done Snappers together, haven't we?
You invited me to be your friend that weekend. I don't know if I made it up or not. I think I was booked.
I thought we did an earlier one. Well, yeah, we did Ellis together. I had you come on.
Oh,
I did the first show at Ellis.
I used to sell net to Ellis.
Yes, that is true. And in fact, I will be back there in December. That's exciting. Oh, this is December.
Yeah.
Do you by any chance know if Chef Sue's still works there?
No, she's gone.
Oh.
She went to, I can't believe I can think of the name of it. A Jewish deli and downtown, but she's also moved on from that. So I'm not sure where she is now.
Gotcha. I liked her.
She went to the Cass Street Deli. That's what it was, Cass Street Deli.
Yeah.
But she hasn't gone from there. Great woman. Great chef.
Yes. I remember one time she served rabbit on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, you got to love that.
She was great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I had a great time. That's what's most important here.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what's most important. But,
no, it is.
It's nice.
No, it's to me,
What I'm excited about is, as per usual, I am so flattered to even be invited on to play your game that I print the game and play along at home. And I'm excited to sign, date, frame, and send this to Mr. Miller as a Christmas present. So that's exciting for me.
You got your big first win. Each one of you has a win and a loss under your belt.
Yes.
And you're both.
Well, I do. I do want to reiterate the fact that I have my reservations about the validity of Jeff's win, but that's okay.
Sure.
You're entitled.
You can question my win all you want, but nobody's questioning your loss. There was 100% a loss that happened.
See, this is.
Are we going back to a democracy
one of your
speech?
problems. Like, we might.
I thought this was headed down. I thought we were. Oh God, here we go. Where's that button? Oh shit. Just a quick note to the listeners: for anything you want to know about these guys, check out the links in this episode's notes and on this episode's blog post at freemanstable.com. Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and tell your friends and family about it. I sure do.
Well, I would hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, it'd be weird if you didn't.
Yeah.
Thank you to the both of you for coming back. Do it soon and often.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. It's nice to talk to you, Matt, and it's always a pleasure to participate with Jeffrey. Not going to say this hasn't left a sour taste in my mouth, but we're at where we're at, gentlemen, and I will do this again, and I would like to face Jeff again, if at all possible.
I would assume that sour taste in your mouth is from the ready-to-wear quick comment.
My favorite part of your comedic delivery, because a lot of people are snappy. They're like, boom, here it is. Here's the joke. But you're more casual. Like, you let it sort of slowly roll out of your mouth like molasses on a cold day. Like, I would have thought that the sour taste in your mouth would have been the Pret-a-Porter quip. Like, I thought that was just an interesting, like, maybe like a little bit, like a little bit headburn, like just really, it's very you. I like it.
If anybody knows what rolling it out of your mouth is like, it's ready to wear.
He delivers
I look forward to you not making. I look forward to you not making a gay joke someday, Jack.
Oh man, that'll be the end of my career.
Gentlemen, stay on the line with me so I can find out where to send this flan. Thanks again to all you knuckleheads listening. Talk at you.
Oye, más chips.